Hey, this is Mark Henry, author of Dancing with Energy, Healing Magic, and Mysticism, here to talk to you more about the occult and the paranormal. Well, today I'm going to be talking about the genius spirits. Before I begin, I just wanted to remind you, as usual, that I have added a new spirit to the attunement store. So I've added Lucifudra Kali, who, if you want to connect with the treasurer of the demonic realms, the assistant to Lucifer, if you want to learn about Luciferian philosophy and have him teach you magic of that flavor, then he is the spirit to connect with, and you can get an attunement and channel his energy and do all sorts of wonderful things. I also added another new one, which is called Angelic Love, which is a combination of the energy of many angels for the purposes of opening your heart, connecting with people, healing, connecting with the cosmic love. So it's good for softening some of us with hard shells and cold hearts who needed to express love and feel more love. So that's in the attunement store. So if you want to level up your magic, if you want to engage in a different method of life enhancement and self-improvement, check out the attunement store. But all that aside, let's talk about today's video. So we're going to be talking about the genius spirits. So the title is The Genius Spirits Do Work Magic. So as we begin, let me tell you first what the genius spirits are not. So I'm rolling up my sleeves. We've got to get down to business. The genius spirits are not the jinn. So it's not the Middle Eastern entities. It is also not the genies associated with the lamp that you rub and you get 3 wishes. So Aladdin is not one of these genius spirits. It is something totally different. So let's discuss what it actually is. So the genius spirits are, well, they're talked about in the Nuctemeron, which was a work that was translated into in the 19th century by a French occultist. That's how we first learned about it. And what it talks about is that creation occurred, and the first 12 hours of creation had metaphysical significance. And for each of those hours, there were 7 spirits attached to each hour, which they're connected with. So, okay, so you think of 12 hours, 7 spirits for each hour, that's 84. So you can think of 84 genius spirits or genies of creation. And nowadays people who work with the genius spirits will use one of these spirits, or maybe some of them at one time, in order to work magic for various purposes, because they all have their individual personality and characteristics, just like other spirits. But they're very gentle and kind, and they're wanting to work with humans. But that's not the only work where they occur. Later on, they became more popular in titles like The Miracle of the New Avatar Power and The Mystic Grimoire of Spells and Rituals by Jeffrey Gray Cobb. Now, each genius spirit personifies the virtues and powers of an angel. And just like we have a lot of different angels, we have a lot of different genius spirits. But that's kind of what they're channeling, the virtues, the forces. Some people refer to them as moral forces. However, that's basically what it is. So if any of you have heard of the most popular genius spirit, I've done a video on him, and I actually have an attunement. Nitika. Nitika is the genius spirit of finances and prosperity. the genius of precious stones. And a lot of these things that genius spirits are associated with, like precious stones, we have to look of it as, what is a precious stone? It's kind of a metaphor for things like luxury, treasures, things that we hold valuable, money, that sort of thing. But Nitika is the most popular. It's the one that people seem to be attracted to. But the genius spirits are very gentle and they're very powerful. And like all other spirits, they have their own sigil. They just really need to be called and worked with. Like I mentioned, Jeffrey Gray Cobb worked with these kind of intelligent spirits. And then later on, after that, then they became popular again with a gallery of magic books. Damon Brand, I'm sure you've heard of him. So that would be usually that if they're working with the genius spirits and his titles, they'll usually titles will start with magical cash book. That's just dedicated to Nitika and working with him and creating a book of prosperity. Magical protection. So using the genius spirits for protecting oneself, averting harm, that sort of thing. Let's see, is there any other ones? I think that there is one more. I'm just not thinking of it. So anyway, that's important. Check that out. Check those books out. They're pretty good. And if you are interested, go look up Nitika. He's kind of like, I consider the genius spirit similar to Saint Expedite. So if you are somebody who isn't interested in working with saints, Nitika would probably be your next person or next entity to work with. All right, you can get all the books that I mentioned, Jeffrey Gray Cobb or the Gallery of Magic, Damon Brand, all of their books on Amazon. So, all right, well, please subscribe and like. Check out the Etsy store if you want to get into Nitika. He's in there too. Okay, folks, thanks so much, and I hope you all have a good weekend. And say some words to the genius spirits. All right, talk to you later. Bye bye.